So yangu mimi tu ni kwamba nataka niwapatie familia rambi na pole.
Kilifi Governor Amason Kingi, who also attended the ceremony, eulogized the fallen MP as an humble politician.
Kamoti ni mtu ambaye alipiga siasa yake ile tunaita politics of tolerance. Hapigi kifua, hangoi mabango ya wenzake, hatukani wenzake. Ni mtu ambaye ni mcha Mungu, ana utu na ana maono. Ikiwa yote tutayasahau, twende na hilo moja.
Odinga mandated the ODM party leaders to appoint a different politicians from the ODM party who will take the candidature of the MP Kamoti, who died few hours after he was cleared by the IEBC to defend his seat on a ODM party ticket.
Napenda viongozi mbaki hapa kushauriane pamoja na jamii ya hapa ya Kamoti, na baadaye mtupatie sisi yule ambaye ataendelea kubeba bendera wa hapa Rabai, bendera ya chama chetu cha ODM hapa Rabai, ili kesho afikishe makaratasi yake huko hapa Rabai ili aendelee na kinyang'anyiro kwa niaba ya chama chetu.
Odinga also delivered the condolences on behalf of Wiper Party leader Kalonzo Musyoka. Shadrack Kareria, Look Up TV.
All right, now still moving on and looking at matters, politics and IEBC verification process. Mwangi wa Iria, the governor of Murang'a, is crying foul
itself towards the August polls. The Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission (IEBC) began the process of clearing presidential candidates on Sunday, with Mwangi wa Iria failing to meet the requirements and hence thrown out of the race. A move that the Murang'a governor says is meant to curtail his bid, accusing IEBC of being unfair to him.
It starts for usawa kwa wote. Even the smallest Kenyan must be treated equally. They must be treated equally with Raila Odinga, William Ruto, and those other people who media call 2 horses or 3 horses. Some people here are even sending vehicles to people's homes so that they can persuade them to comply. Me, they are even not communicating because they are pushing time. This kind of fraud I will not entertain.
Wairia, together with his supporters, arrived at the Bomas of Kenya, where the IEBC was carrying out the registration and clearance process, demanding an audience with Wafula Chebukati, failure to which the Usawa kwa Wote leader says he will start a movement.
I'm even not begging anyone, my brother. Hakuna mimi mtu naomba. I have the big option. The big option is if we can have a system which can deny me from contesting presidency, it will be an assistance movement. That is the main option. That is the main option. It's even the option which I want, because I want to liberate this country.
Chebukati, however, says Wairia did not meet the qualification, and that is why he had been locked out.
And they are saying they are comparing your signatures against a voter register. A voter register which is not complete as we speak. They said it will be complete on 9th. So they have no voter register, they have no signatures, and they are calling Kenyans that they are verifying. Verifying from where?
You're talking about Wairia submitted 24 bundles, but in those bundles there were 22 documents from 22 counties. And upon checking or initial verification, that's when they found 5 were compliant. So the people appearing on the list, this the schedule as aspirants who are coming for clearance, are people who submitted on the face value 24 counties, documents for 24 counties. And
with the second day of registration continuing, Professor George Wajakoya and Walter Mungare had a debt with the commission to have their details verified. The process started with Wajakoya, whose registration was rejected after he failed to have enough signatures following the compliance from 17 counties as opposed to 24, which was the requirement.
We're going to come back as soon as possible, but we are also assuring our supporters that if we get everything which is very clean, something is wrong somewhere. at least if there is a mistake that has happened or there is some kind of shortfall, we are going to do it because you have seen, witnessed that we have passed everything. Apart from one thing, anako kadogo tutafanya hivyo. Na Mungu akijalia, tutakutana tena. But I also want to thank members of
the commission, however, gave him up to the 2nd of June to top up as he exuded confidence that he will do it and be on the ballot come August 9th. Walter Mung'are was the last aspirant to be verified, a man who was filled with emotions as the IEBC chairman announced that he had met all the requirements and as such cleared to start his campaigns officially.
We want to confirm that we have complied with the checklist, and based on that, we commissioned with the issue. I, as returning officer for presidential election, issue a certificate.
We worked with diligence, patience, precision and speed in ensuring that we don't just show up because we think we can, but because we have a responsibility to every supporter out there that we have to do the right thing. And this is a victory for all of us.
Mung'are is the first aspirant of the 4 who appeared before the commission to receive a green light to vie for the presidency since the process began on Sunday. Brian Amoai, Look Up TV.
Remember one particular phrase. Mulizema Moi atarudi, I am back. Yeah, that's all.
Thank you very much, Brian Amoai, for that. But still on matters IEBC verification and clearance process, a section of aspirants drawn from Nairobi and Bungoma have decried the systemic delays being witnessed by the IEBC in the ongoing clearance process. The aspirants now want the electoral body to improve their systems to allow seamless flow of results even during the entire process. Here is Bella Boson with this report.
With only 70 days to the general elections, aspirants are crying foul over the lack of order by the electoral body and its officials. Aspirants in Bungoma and Nairobi have faced several challenges during the clearance of their candidatures to vie.
Kufikia sasa ni karibu saa 8, hakuna kitu imeendelea, na hiyo inaonyesha ya kwamba tukiendelea hivi sijui uchaguzi itafanywa namna gani. Kama kufanya mtu mmoja hapa inachukua karibu 3 hours, masaa 3, na kupika kura ambayo itakuwa na watu maelfu, itakuwa namna gani?
We've passed all the processes because the first they had to verify the IDs and signatures, which actually passed, and they all cleared, and then they cleared all the documents. So when we reached the point of generating the certificate from the system collapsed. So we have been trying to ask them what is happening. The RO has told us that it's happening countrywide, and therefore we have to wait. So we imagine from 9 up to 2, we are still waiting, and I was the second, and there are 6 more behind me.
Concerns have been raised to have IEBC improve their systems to ensure free and fair elections.
Tutaki IEBC ifanye mchezo yoyote, si ndio? Ikuwe free, fair and credible election.
Because we've taken more than 2 hours inside there, tumeona network ni mbaya sana. I hope they will improve on that because vile tumekuwa wengi is going to cause a lot of problems. Kitu cha pili, conditions zenye tumepewa saizi kana watu wa IEBC, they are very tough. But mimi nashukuru Mungu nizimemaliza sote. I've been given a certificate.
There have been concern on the dwindling nature of the IEBC way of handling the systematic processes ahead of the August 9th general polls. Bellamy Boson, Look Up TV.
Now, away from the politics, let's take a look at matters security and the differences between the Director of Criminal Investigations, DCI George Kinoti, and the Director of Public Prosecutions, Nordin Haji, have once again played out in public as their latest tussle might see the DPP charged before a court of law. Now, this follows the ruling on May 23rd by Justice Anthony Murima that declared the DPP's guidelines on terrorism invalid following a petition by activist member Ocharo. Now, Simba Kiage with the details of this new twist in an old war.
The director, Mr. George Kinoti, has demanded that, one, proper investigations be done on somebody who has done forgery, that is the DPP, with a view of him recording statements and him being arrested and being charged for the offense of forgery.
The war of words pitting the Director of Public Prosecutions, Nordin Haji, and the spying chief, George Kinoti, is not new. They are at it again. Reason? DPP's guidelines on terrorism. According to the court, the guidelines are invalid, a factor further supported by the DCI's affidavit that informed the court's ruling on May 23rd, 2022.
In the schedule of the thematic areas that are supposed to be discussed, nowhere is the question about guidelines is provided as a subject that was supposed to be discussed. What the members attended and did was to describe the job description and the mandates of their respective agencies.
According to the affidavit sent by Lookup TV, the pleading should not stand because of the following. The DCI says the criminal investigations consultant used in the guidelines was not qualified, that the funding behind the guidelines excluded Christian faith, and that the judiciary was not consulted in the case. Further, the officers in the case were not present during the signing of the guidelines, and that a forensic audit of the signatures appended in the document were forged. And now they want to sue the DPP for forgery.
We will seek instructions from our clans to pursue still the matters before the Public Service Commission, where we had sued one Nordin Haji for incompetence. And now we have serious evidence against him, so that he should be removed from office for being a criminal suspect.
Simba, Elijah Kiange, Lookup TV.
Well, there's a tussle in security matters. We continue to follow closely that story developing, and thank you very much, Kiage, for that report later on in the day. If this gets to develop, be sure to get the precise and accurate information at Lookup TV across all social media platforms. And now to corridors of justice. After the investigations into the gruesome murder of Purity Wangeshi concluded, the mother has exuded confidence that justice will be served. Now, Purity Wangeshi was murdered in April in Kiambu as a result of a conflict between her and her estranged lover. Our reporter Dorcas Kurui has this report.
After attending a case hearing over the murder of her daughter Purity Wangeshi, Lydia Karinga have expressed hopes that they finally get justice in the gruesome murder of their beloved daughter. The distraught mother says despite the unceasing spirit of grieving her loss, she will be pleased if justice is served at the end of it all.
It's paining a lot as a mother, because losing such a young soul. She was my first daughter, and she was so vibrant. She was career promising. She had a future, she had dreams, and they were cut short. So as a mother, it is very painful. I'm paining a lot, and I hope that justice will be served.
Lydia, however, commended the security apparatus in the country, urging them to ensure that those involved in the murder face the full force of the law.
I'm so happy about the Kiambu police because of the swift action they took on the matter, because within 24 hours they had done their job. So as my daughter rests in peace, I hope and I pray, that is my prayer, that the justice will be done. That is my prayer.
Dorcas Kurui, Lookup TV.
All right, now, even as we try to wrap up the political scene, so far, political analyst Herman Manyora says the recent wrangles in Deputy President William Ruto's Kenya Kwanza camp is a sign that Ruto will likely lose the upcoming presidential elections to Raila Odinga. Now, speaking exclusively to Lookup TV, Manyora says that recent moves by some of Ruto's close allies are signs of fatal cracks in Kenya Kwanza. Take a look.
To Lookup TV's Lameka Ungo, acclaimed political commentator Herman Manyora said the recent move by Arap Kirwa to leave DP Ruto's Kenya Kwanza is a sign of serious cracks in the coalition.
Kwanza Kipruto Arap Kirwa ni naibu wa mwenyekiti wa chama cha UDA. Hiyo ni wadhifa mkubwa huo. Kwa hivyo wakati unapoteza mtu wa ngazi hiyo, bila shaka inatingiza chama. Pamoja na kwamba wangependa kudunisha, wanasema kwamba yeye hakukuwa mtu mwenye uwezo wowote, alikuwa tu hivi hivi. Lakini ukweli ni kwamba masuala ya kisiasa mara nyingi ni perceptions.
Manyora further pointed at the move by Ford Kenya party leader and Kenya Kwanza co-principal Moses Wetangula to defend his senatorial seat in Bungoma as another sign of the storm in the Ruto camp.
Kirwa ni mwanzo tu. Sababu ni mbili. Sababu ya kwanza, imeanza kudhihirika wazi hususan baada ya Martha Karua kuingia katika mchakato huu kwamba Raila anashinda uchaguzi. Hilo peke yake litakuwa la kushawishi watu walio upande wengine waanze kutoroka. Upepo unavuma ukielekea upande wa Raila. Hiyo italeta watu, upepo utakuja na watu. Pili, kuna watu ndani ya ng'ambo ile. Mimi washuku. Mimi na washuku. Na mwisho, kuna watu kutoka Mlima Kenya upande wa UDA kule, ambao sasa wanahimizwa na wanasukumwa kwamba kwa sasa tuko na Martha Karua katika mlengo wa Raila Odinga. Jamani, hapa siku za usoni future yetu watu wa Mount Kenya iko na Martha Karua.
On winners and losers, Manyora insisted that the upcoming election is a do or die for both the Azimio and Kenya flag bearer Raila Odinga and DP Ruto.
Mwenye atashinda atakanyaga mwenye atashindwa na hataamuka kutoka hapo. Raila akishindwa atakanyagwa na Ruto. Hao na Uhuru hawataamuka. Na wao wakishinda Ruto hataamuka.
With the campaign period starting officially on Sunday 29th, presidential runners are now racing against the clock to throw in their final pitches to Kenyans before August 7th. Waris Kimathi, Look Up TV, Nairobi.
All right, very well. Thank you very much, Waris Kimathi, for that report, and of course, Lameck Aungo for making that happen. Getting, of course, the thoughts of political analyst Herman Manyora on the political twists and turns. But I'd love to hear from you as well. What do you think of these moves? The Kenya Kwanza wrangles, we're also looking at Azimio la Umoja picking up, and a few surveys in the past. Let me know what your thoughts are. We are live on Facebook this very minute, and also on Twitter at Lookup TV, at Doris Anki. Use the hashtag The Morning Drift. Now, on other current affairs, before we take a short breather into the Arrive Alive, COVID-19 is once again a talk in the health sector. And in the last 24 hours, 91 people, according to the Ministry of Health updates, tested positive for the disease from a sample size of 2,371 tested in the last 24 hours. Now, so far, it is important to note that the positivity rate is now at about 3.8%. And of course, from the cases, 45 are Kenyans, while 46 are foreigners. 58, when it comes to the gender ratio, are males, and 33 are females. The youngest, therefore, in this time is a 5-year-old, while the oldest, according to these statistics, is 77 years old. The total confirmed positive cases are now 324,859. And of course, we are looking at, of course, in terms of county distribution, Nairobi still tops with 82 cases, Mandera with 4 cases, Mombasa 2 cases, Kwale, Nyeri and Siaya recording 1 case each. Now, we continue to talk to you about this. There are patients in, of course, recovering. 63 patients have recovered from the disease, all of them from the home-based care, isolation for that matter. Now, just to bring to you, of course, the measures are up. Please put on your mask. Try very much to put on your mask. If you have not gotten your vaccine, please let us know why. If you have gotten your first, you are being urged by the ministry to get your second jab. And if you have had your second jab, you are also urged to get your booster. Now, that's it for the confirmations on COVID-19 as far as the pandemic is concerned. You're watching hashtag The Morning Drift. I take a short breather. We'll be right back with Arrive Alive. morning, thousands and thousands of Kenyans use these roads to commute to their various and respective destinations. What is the situation and what is the weather? We have made it our business to investigate, scrutinize, and analyze how safe and efficient the infrastructure is.
If they close the barabara